Hey Stampin' friends, welcome to the Joy Stamp with Rachel. I'm Rachel Coon and it is Fun Fold Friday. Today I'm doing it a little bit differently because I have a busy Friday tomorrow. So I'm pre-recorded this on Thursday. Tomorrow is the minimum day at school and it's our leading into my kids' spring break. So I thought I would do a quick recording today, and I still love everyone who sees this on Friday to comment by midnight, and one lucky person who comments will get the card that I make in our video today. Before I get started, so that you know that it's me, I like to share a photo of either myself or my family, so that way you know that these hands are sure enough Rachel's hands. But I just want to introduce my family for those of you who don't know them. I'm going to get them closer a little bit so you can see. This is my family. I have 4 kids and a husband. We currently live in California, and I'm a military spouse, so that's some fun facts about me. I've been stamping with Stampin' UP for almost 10 years, and I just love it. It definitely is a joy for me, and I love sharing that with you. For today's fun fold, I'll be using the Rejoice in Him stamp set. It's this one right here. I'm always torn about images of Christ because I'm like, well, it's an artist, how an artist would see him kind of thing. So it's always hard for me to like jump on board, be like, yes, that's what he looks like to me. But I think this artist did a great job of keeping a very simple Christ-like without too many details. I love the sayings for this one: wishing you joy and love this Easter. Celebrate his love. He is risen. Peace be unto you. So this is a great stamp set, and Easter's just around the corner. I love sending Easter cards. Just like I send Christmas cards, I send to my close friends and to my family Easter cards each year. And this will be the one, or something similar to this one, is what I'll be sending to a lot of my family and friends. Let me go ahead and show you that one. This fun fold we're making. So we have this beautiful designer series paper, which is actually from the Delicate Desert. And I thought it went really well with like this Mediterranean look. And so we have Jesus on the front here. We have some of those palm leaves that I fussy cut out, and then it opens up so that it has an extra message, says he is risen, and then it has a gatefold that also opens up and has another message with our cute little dove and the wishing you joy and love this Easter. So this is a really fun one. It does take a whole sheet of cardstock, so keep that in mind when you go to make it. Let me go ahead and grab our pieces out and we can start stamping this. If you like, feel free to visit my blog, and that's where you'll see all the measurements and list of supplies for you to order this with ease. Let me go ahead and grab my paper trimmer in, because we're going to need that. Let me go ahead and show you. I'm using gray granite, and I've already done my scores, but I want to cut it with you just so you can see what it will look like. So this is a whole sheet of cardstock, which is the 8.5 by 11. I have it scored at 5.5 on the 11-inch side, and then we have it scored at 2 1/8, and then I flipped it and I scored it again on 2 1/8. So both of those are the measurements. If you have a trimmer that you like to use, this one, it's kind of hard when I get to the 6. So that's why I usually do a flip after 6, and then I'm back again at 7. They do have the extra arm here, so I could see, but for my peace of mind, I usually will do a flip there instead. All right, slide that back in. So for this one, what we have to do now is just remove 2 pieces. These 2 panels right here is what we'll remove. It doesn't matter which one. I could either flip it and then remove these ones. It's exactly the same right now. But in fact, that's what we'll do. I'll remove these 2 top and left panels. You can either use your paper snips and just cut those along the score, or use your paper trimmer. I'm going to show you how I like to use my paper trimmer to do this part here. All right, let me go ahead and start. I put it back in the lineup, which we know that's at the 5.5. So if I just line it up there, it should be at that score, just pretty perfect. And then what I like to do is grab my trimmer blade, and I'm going to actually start it at that crossroads score. So I'll go right about here, and if I'm not right on it, that's okay. I would rather be more one direction than this way than on this way. I don't want to cut into that other paper. Okay. Oh, hold on. I think my blade needs to be pushed back in. There we go. It felt a little bit wobbly. So I'm using this arrow right here to help me line up on that score. Or I even have my 2 1/8 I can see on my ruler right here, the clear ruler. Okay, I'll press down and then I'll cut up like that. Then I'll go ahead and turn it. I'll go to my 2 1/8. So that should match my score right there. Again, I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way to the end of the paper. So start in that corner there. And if I did it right, I should be able to remove it easily. And if I didn't, I will grab my paper snips and just finish it. So that one I didn't get close enough to, so I'll just grab those and just free it. Set that aside. Then do the same thing to the other side. I'll line it up right on that score. Again, start in the corner, so that way we're not going, like I actually don't go too fast and I cut it further than I want. So that one I didn't get super close to, so I will have to use my paper snips. Which I'm totally fine with. I'd rather have it cut not enough and try to cut it again versus cut too much and have to start all over. Okay. That one's just about ready. Let's go ahead and take our paper snips and we'll just meet it on that score. Now these pieces here, we will need to use at least one of them. So set those aside for the rest of our card. All right, let me grab my bone folder out so you can kind of see how this will take shape and it'll be easier to place our DSP. So grab this one, start the crease, fold it inward, open that back up. Do our side panels here, crease, bone folder, have that extra nice pressure, and same with this one. So this is a lift flap and a gate fold, so it's 2 in 1 fun folds. And I really wanted something that would have it look like it's opening up to our message. I feel like the symbolism of the tomb opening could be totally in this card here. For those who don't know, I am a Christian. I do believe in Jesus Christ, that he is my savior. And so I love that Stampin' Up! Has a stamp set that works perfect for my beliefs. All right, so we'll have lots of DSP here in a minute. Let me go ahead and grab the pieces we need to stamp. Our basic whites are the same size, which are just a little bit bigger than usual. They're 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. That's for the front and the front and the inside. There we go. All right, let me grab my scrap paper right here real quick. I'll flip it over. So I'm going to do some stamping on this one, and I'm going to be doing some stamping on one of my basic whites and that gray granite panel and one of my DSP. Okay, that's all the stamping pieces we'll need for paper-wise. Grab your gray granite ink right here and open that up. Let me set that down. So for the Jesus right here, it's a beautiful, beautiful image. I'm going to have it stamped on this die cut of basic white, which I have cut on a straight edge. So I cut it intentionally when I die cut it out, so that way it would not be a full circle. And I love what that does to this card. All right, that looks good. And just hover over and see where you want that to be lined up. Perfect. I could have gone a little bit over that way if I wanted to, but it's totally up to you. And I took off maybe an 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch off that circle there. All right. Next, let's grab our leaf. For our palms, we'll do 2 of these. And I'll just stamp it and stamp it like that. Okay. Grab the dove. We want that to be on one of our panels here. And we'll do it at the top right. Looks like it's flying in. It's very, very small detail there, but it adds so much. Then we'll do our wishing you joy and love this Easter. Ink that up. Go about center. Press down, lift up. Looks great. And I forgot one more part. Will be in the inside of our card base. The He is Risen. Let's ink that up and put it here on the top of our card base. Perfect. All right. we should be almost ready to assemble. There's just one thing I want to show you how to do. There's no dies for this one. So you would have to fussy cut these cute little palm leaves out. I would go ahead and separate one from the other and then just start cutting along it. And it's pretty forgiving. I usually will go like that and trim off that excess. Let me do just one side here. I have mine already pre-cut for you guys, but I just want to give you an idea. So I'll cut along one leaf and then I'll come on the other leaf and kind of meet a triangle point there. And I can either pull it out and call it good. Again, I'll go along the top of that leaf, come around it, cut down to it, come on the other side of the leaf right next to it, and meet that point that was our first cut. And then we can just pull that piece out. It doesn't have to be perfect for sure, but it is a nice look when it's all cut out. Let me grab my two that are ready to go. So I have this one and this one. These are cute little palms we'll be using for our embellishment behind Jesus. Okay, let's assemble. I'm gonna grab my scrap piece out. Now we're done stamping. And I'm gonna grab my Stampin' Seal Plus, and I'll put a little bit of adhesive on the back of his left side. So it'll be here like that. And then I can figure out how I wanna place these palms. So I want one coming down behind him. I'll just press it to attach. And then this one, I want it to meet right there where they both are and press it to attach. Flip it over, add your dimensionals. I'm gonna put one dimensional where they both meet and at least two more, so a total of 3. You could add more if you want. That one's ready to be attached here in a minute. Let's grab our card base back in. Actually, let's do our DSP to our basic white first. Okay. Grab your liquid glue. Isn't this paper just really pretty? It's the Calypso Coral is what this side is, and that gray granite. A fun mixture there. Okay. So if you look closely, there's like little succulent images on here. And you can tell which way is right upside down. It honestly doesn't matter, but that's the upright side. So I'll put it that way so we know how to attach. And now we should be ready to start attaching to this card base here. Okay, grab our liquid glue. And let's attach it here. Using my fingers as a guide to hold it so that I have some framing going on. There we go, on all 4 sides. It's a very, very small border, but it's there. I'll grab the basic white for the inside. This one, it's all white, so I'm gonna do my Stampin' Seal instead of liquid glue, so there's no glue lines. Place that one. Again, being mindful of our borders. There we go. This is going to be the inside. We'll have this paneling here. And I try to make it match a little bit from the one across, but it doesn't really matter too much since they're not right by each other. That one looks pretty good though. We're going to use these two. We'll liquid glue on the back. I would love to hear some of your guys' Easter traditions. Some that we do with my family is that we make goodies, Easter goodies, kind of like Christmas goodies. But the Easter goodies, we will make about 4 plates worth every Friday for the 3 Fridays before Easter. So we should be starting up tomorrow, and we go deliver them to our friends, usually our neighbors or people who go to church with us, just to spread a little bit of Easter cheer and just to remind them. We do Fridays because of the last one is a Good Friday, and so we like to celebrate that with our family as well. All right, I'm gonna get my bone folders. This is really good. And let's grab our last pieces of DSP. We'll flip these over so it's the gray granite side up, put on our liquid glue. And we'll attach this. So fun fact, I do not have the stamp set that coordinates with this DSP. I love the DSP all by itself, and I grabbed it, and I'm so happy that I found a fun way to use it. Sometimes I have a lot of stamp sets, so I'm a little bit pickier of how I choose which ones I want, but the paper is always gorgeous to me, so I always want that. Okay, let's go ahead and attach now our Jesus. What we want to do is have this straight in flesh so that it meets with the matte on the basic white. Since we're using dimensionals, you gotta be careful to lay it down and line it up just right. That looks pretty good. And press down. Oh, I'm loving it, loving it. You'll notice that it'll be a little bit bulky or hard to close. If you want, you can trim off this so on the very top to have it close down a little bit easier. I just like to pressure my way through it. Now I'll just crease it again, and that way we know that it's folding on there really nice. This one I have embellishments on, and I really debated if I wanted to add any embellishments to it. So I, after much debate, decided that the Brush Metallic adhesive back dots were a good fit for it. Still that very neutral color, very soft looking. So I'm going to grab those. They have them in a couple different shades though. I'm using more of the, what color would you say this is? And I would say this is like it's not copper, it's not gold, brass, a brass look. And I have them together, and you can kind of just play with them to see where you want to place them. I love that it's on a clear sheet, so that way I can totally just hold it somewhere and be like, you know what, that looks like a good spot. Bring it ahead and put it in the very similar spot I had before. Usually I do 3 of the embellishments, but because I feel like these palms here are an embellishment themselves, that I can get away with that being our 1, 2, 3. What do you guys think? Should I add one more? Looks good. I'm liking it. I could add probably one more over here or over here if I wanted to, but we're gonna let that be. All right, you guys, I hope you've loved learning how to make this Easter card today using the Rejoice in Him stamp set. I love that we can open it up to see He is risen and open it again for our sweet Easter message we have there inside. Have a great weekend, everyone, and happy stamping. Goodbye.